Story Time with Marty, episode 28, My Amazing Summertime. Hi, I'm Marty. Yes, I've had a haircut. I don't like it. I'm never going back there again. And welcome to episode 28 of the series I do, Story Time, where I tell you a story that actually happened. However, unlike the channel actually happened, my stories are actually true. So, if you've been around on this channel for a while, you will know by now, because I've said it pretty much every time I've done a story time of these, that I go to a youth group on Thursdays. And every summer, they have, events. They did it last year and they did it this year. Just knocked over my glasses. And there wasn't that many, to be honest. I don't know if it was due to lack of funding or lack of staff, which, to be fair, a lot of staff have either been leaving, retiring, or were just temporary staff. But yeah, this year, it wasn't as taken as seriously. But we still managed to have a few events, starting with the first one. I don't have footage of this one because, well, it's cinema and I'm not going to whip my camera out on cinemas because that's illegal. But yeah, it was the 15th of July and I, as well as others from the youth group, was there. There was no Light to Dark, Ink Bendy or DB Red this time. Light to Dark was busy, Ink Bendy wasn't interested, and DB Red hates Superman. Oh yeah, it was the new Superman that we went to see. I watched it, and I have to say, I haven't watched many Superman films, but I got to admit, this one was super. I left home at 14 minutes past 3 in the afternoon, and I walked for 20 minutes, arrived at the cinema at 5:05, and I was there till 22 minutes past 8. Decided to walk home, which only took 20 minutes, and I arrived home at 8:42. The next one was a big one, Alton Towers. I set my alarm for 5:50, so 10 to 6. I do remember what time Light to Dark came to my house, which was 7:30. We left the house at 7:33 in the morning. We got an Uber from house to, I believe it was youth group where we all had to meet up and get the coach. We was in the Uber for 15 minutes. We arrived at Kingfisher at 7:48 and we was there till 7:58. We got on the coach. We drove for 13 minutes. While we was on the coach on our way to Alton Towers, everyone on the coach was just singing, and they basically turned the coach ride into a karaoke. I want to capture some of it. And you're right, it is a bit like a karaoke. Everyone's going mental. Oh. And since this was in July, the month the Oasis reunion band concert started, everyone was singing Oasis songs apart from me and Light to Dark, because we have sensory issues, so if it gets a bit loud we can't really, not a fan, to be honest. Member of staff had to tell them to not stop but just volume, which is understandable, because what if someone's sleeping? One person threw up on the bus. Well, not on the bus, not on top of the bus, in a bag. We stopped at Lidl at 8:11 to pick up some more young people at the youth group who were waiting to to then go to Alton Towers. So we started driving again at 8:21. We stopped at Auburn House at 8:35. And we arrived at New Park Youth Centre at 8:43 to let some young people go to the toilet, including myself. I had to take a piss. Started driving again for 8:47. It was an hour and 58-minute drive, 2 minutes away from being 2 hours. We finally arrived at Alton Towers at 10:45, and we was there till 17 to 5. While I was on the coach, I got chatting with this kid. I can't remember what his name was, but he said he was about 13. And even though he was a little bit troubled, he sounded alright, you know. He's got a lot to learn, you know. He's only 13, so I gave him a bit of leeway. The only thing that was kind of concerning was that he called me and Light to Dark boring for the fact that we don't vape, you know. That's not a healthy mindset to have, in my opinion. But yeah. When we got to Alton Towers, there was a long queue, you know, because Alton Towers is massive. You know, I underestimated how big it was, you know. That's because I don't go to many theme parks. I don't like rides. I've never been to Thorpe Park. I've only been to... I went to Disneyland Paris when I was 12. I did go to Disneyland, but I was only 7 months old, so I don't remember. But yeah. So I didn't go on many rides, but keyword being many. I did go on some. I did go on the lazy river. I know it's not called the lazy river, but I know it's called something else, but I can't be bothered to remember the name now. But it's basically where walls round in a circle. We're going round a river, go down a river, sort of. It's like you know what a lazy river is. But yeah. Sorry, this story time's unscripted. This is why I script my story times. But this one, I've just been so busy with my personal life. This is literally the day before release, this recording. But anyways. So yeah, this video is going to be quite short and not that great. But the video after this one will make up for it. Part 2 of It Takes Two. Anyways. So yeah. We did want to purchase the photos. But there was a bit having technical problems. You know, which made Light to Dark not very happy, considering she paid. And, yeah, I had to cheer her up, which didn't take too long, but it did take some time. Man, fuck that. Heard too many bad things about the Smiler, no way. Me and Light to Dark also got hella harassed by a bunch of wasps. You know? That was really annoying. It's like we were fucking doused in some wasp pheromone or something. Because the wasps just would not leave us alone. No matter how many times we moved away. I don't know how people do it. I really don't. Not for me. While we was waiting for others to exit out the Smiler, we caught up with Ink Bendy and DB Red, who was also there but made their own way there via someone else who drove them there. Reason being is because the youth group was from 14 to 25-year-olds. 25 is the max. But Ink Bendy and DB Red are 28. So they had to find a different way. By the way, if you're wondering why it looks like the camera's been moved, because it has. I'm not using a tripod. I'm leaning my camera against a pillow. I'm filming this video in my bed. Also, I forgot to mention that Ink Bendy also purchased a umbrella that had the Smiler logo on it. Light to Dark went on a ride where, I can't remember what it was called, but it was like it went like straight and then straight dropped down. And apparently it takes a photo while you're going down. So it takes a photo. The gravity pulls your face. And Light to Dark's picture was so funny. I didn't recognise her at first. She looked like a guy.
It doesn't have a slide. It goes right down, like it sends you literally vertical.
Yeah, I know. I saw it while I saw it while other people were on. I was like, hell no, I'm not doing that. Straight ahead, stops, and then whoosh down. No way.
My eyes were closed.
Yeah, I know. Again,
I opened them a little.
the wind basically pressed your face up ways.
I look weird with my face right.
Yes, looks like an ass face.
My skin.
You heard.
My face is very nice.
Yes, it's very lovable and very kissable and very... Well, I'm not going to continue with
Don't
this.
you continue.
You didn't waste your money, didn't charge you.
Look at the tower.
You good?
Light to Dark is 22, but she doesn't look 22. She looks younger. So when that photo, she looks even more younger than she already does. We went on the well, we would have gone on the ride. Oh, I can't remember what it was called now, but it's that wooden ride where it's that wooden roller coaster with the fire. If you know, you know. You know, I can't remember, but unfortunately, it was broken down. You know, I didn't want to go anyway because I was a bit not sure. I was a bit because I'm not a massive fan of rides, but I did treat myself to 2 hot dogs. And drinks, you know, with ketchup and dried onions, dislumptuous. One person from the youth group wanted to go to see BB's Land, so her and the staff went there while we all just sat outside of it, that section of the park, waiting for that bit to be over so we can go on the next ride, which was The Curse at Alton Manor. The 4 of us, along with me, Like to Dogging Bendy, DB Red, and other others, went there, and you know what? I really enjoyed it. DB Red kept screaming, which kept making me laugh. You know, of course he's going to scream because he's a little bitch. But yes, but no, he's great. He's also fun to wind up as well. Bullshit Crash Bash though. After we left the ride, we went to the gift shop. I didn't buy anything, but Light to Dark did. You know, I can't remember what she bought. Oh, well, that was fun. And then after that, we had to find a coach back. And then I think I fell asleep on Light Dark's shoulder while we was on the coach. I was really tired. We got back on the coach at 4:46. And the drive was an hour 59, so basically 1 minute away from being 2 hours. We stopped at Lidl at 6:41 to drop off the people who were waiting at Lidl so they could make their own way back home. We was there for a good 8 minutes. The drive continued for another 11 more minutes, where we arrived at Kingfisher at 7 o'clock. I was originally going to get an Uber for me and Light to Dock to get in from the youth group to her house. But a member of staff called Neil offered to drive us from there to her house to save me money on the Uber, which was really nice of him. Neil drove us for 11 minutes at 7 minutes past 7 till 7:18, where we arrived at, well, me and her arrived at Light to Dark and Ink Bendy's house. I saw her out at 22 past 7. Started walking for 6 minutes. I arrived home at 7:28. Now this next trip, unfortunately, I didn't get to go because I couldn't get the day off work, but it was a narrow boat trip. There are photos of it on its Facebook, the Kingfisher Youth Centre's Facebook, and I think Instagram as well. On the 30th of July, we was at the centre and we did badge making. I did 3 badges. I did this one, which is, you know, it's meant to represent me in light to dark, the first letters of our first names, my favourite colour, her favourite colour, and them fused together. So yes. And the second one, light to dark actually had to help me to basically teach me how to draw this. It's ruse, which is my favourite flower. And the third and final badge, which I actually had to look up videos on Google for this, which is the Union Jack. You know what? Listen, I'm not a Boy Scout or anything, and I don't plan on being one. But you know what? I'm really proud of these badges. In fact, I deserve a badge for these badges. Oh, wait a minute, I only have 3. The fourth thing was a mini golf. I left the house at 3:10 to walk there. Even though it started at 4, well, we all had to meet there by 4:45, but I wanted to walk there because it's a long walk and I like walking, you know. I just walk there the whole time with earbuds listening to the Sweeney Todd, the Johnny Depp version album, which I really, really enjoyed. There, Light to Dark, Ink Bendy, and DB Red were not there, which was a shame because, you know, I would have beaten them if they were there, you know. There were 6 of us. Well, no, there was 8, but 2 didn't play. Because it's only 6 people per game. So 2 people, like, they were member of staff. 1 took photos and videos, and the other kept track of the scores. The 2 people that didn't play were Grant and Leanne.
Come on, Lisa. Come on. You can do it. Come on. You can do it, mate. You can do it. Come on, I believe in you, Lisa.
Kyron kept getting angry during the game, and John had to tell him, look, it's just a game. Someone has to go last.
Whoa! Hey, John!
Number 1.
I just kept telling stupid jokes like stupid dad jokes when we was at the golf. And John just looked at me in a joking way, said, "You're not going golf again."
Take a picture of it, Anthony. Yeah, I've got him.
Anthony!
Right, we want a picture.
I said in the last story time about these youth group events that John was leaving, but he came back. People missed him too much. Right, little mini rant. Just spent the last 16 minutes trying to get my left earbud to connect, you know. Just put it back in and out, that just won't connect. You know, I have to wait till it makes the noise. I looked it up, and apparently I'm not the only one. Apparently this is an issue that J-Labs just has in general. So, if you want earbuds, don't buy J-Labs, they're fucking crap. Luckily I've got another pair at home, but they're at home. We just completed the golf. There was the 6 of us. In the turn order, Musa, Harrison, Monica, me, Kyron, and John. You know, I'll put the scores on screen, but I came 4th with 73 points. But yeah, I didn't take much footage of it because my phone was on right low. It's low now, but look, I bought my power bank, and it was also a bit of a handful to take my phone out of my bag while I've got also drink and holding a golf club as well. But yeah, it was funny because I kept saying the same thing over and over again, like a catchphrase. Where's my ball? Oh, it's in my pocket. Yes. I'm just, as right now, I'm gonna go to the toilet. Well, maybe later. Just chill on the bench for a bit, and then get some snacks from the cafe, and then yeah, go home. It took me an hour and a half to get here. You know, when I got here, I was presented by a locked green gate in front of me, so I had to go around. So yeah, that was really annoying. Also, did not know that LVT, the singer, also did floors as well. In last place, Musa with 88 points. Fifth, Kyron. I don't know if that's how you spell his name. I'm just spelling it on how it sounds. It could be a different spelling, so don't quote me on that spelling, because that was my first time meeting him. But yeah, 78 points. Me, 73. Harrison, 70. Monica, 64. Zulane. And the winner, John, with 55. And the fifth and final youth group event was a festival sort of thingy that happened at the youth group itself. There was stuff outside, and there was games outside and inside. So basically, imagine, you know, a theme park without the rides. I don't know what the hell's going on here, but it looks fun. Let's go. It's like some sort of fun fair looking shit. Okay. There was games where you could throw balls at the coconuts. And photo shoots. There was press the button that lights up. Please don't beat my high score. I got 99. Yeah, he ain't doing it. No! He cheated. He cheated. There was, you know, how long you can lift your body up via a weight for how long. There was where you can stuff yourself inside an inflatable rolly ball. I didn't have a go on that. And there was inside there was like a desk where you can have a chat to people. Basically, imagine what Charlie Kirk does, but it was for people who are trying to put a stop to smoking, which I think that's a good message to spread. They had food and soft drinks and sweets. You know, they had like burgers, veggie burgers, chicken burgers and hot dogs. I didn't have any because we knew we was going to go to McDonald's later after that. You know, me, Ink Bendy and Light to Dark was there from the beginning. Light to Dark and Ink Bendy were already there because they were being, well, Light to Dark was being a volunteer, and Ink Bendy was also there because, you know, sisters. DB Red joined us a little bit later on.
I've got my school shoes and training.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm going to try not to get my legs in the video because I'm currently having a shit, but yes. YouTube 2025. Just made some beads, as you saw in that section of the video. I've made 3 beads. I'm going to try not to drop them. I've made 3. One for my younger siblings and one for my girlfriend. So this one, I'll start from the order I made them in. The first one is for my little sister Bella. I did her top 3 favourite colours, pink, purple and blue. Then I've done this one for Freddie. I used blue and green for Minecraft. And finally, from light to dark, I did this. It's pink, orange and yellow, but the beads are in the shape of hearts. When I'd gathered up the heart-shaped beads, at that moment, Light to Dark came in the room to ask me what I was doing. You know, she asked me, oh, you've got all these beads in the shape of hearts. Do you plan on making another one? You know, I'm trying to cover up, not giving it. And she's like, well, you could make one more for yourself, or you could do another one for your siblings. I go, yeah. Basically, I knew I wanted to do one for Light to Dark, but I didn't want to tell her because it was a surprise. So she's turned up at the wrong time. It's like, yeah, like I'm pretending to agree with her what she's saying when really I wanted to go away. This is for you. You know, ironic. You know, because her thing now that I just showed you for her, that I made for her, has 2 bells at the end of it. That makes it a bell end, which is how I felt towards her when she came into this situation at the wrong time. Speaking of light to dark, she also made me this. It's a pebble that has our signature colours fused in the heart. S and M, the first letters of our names. She should have put M and S, but you know, she didn't want to copy the shop. I also had a go on the coconut game where you answer a question and try and throw the coconut at the right answer that has the letter on it. I didn't win, but I did win a pen. But had I won, I would have won a bag of sweets. Like Fractured Butthole said, retribution with inclusion. With the Alton Towers golf trip and the festival, I had to take a day off work, which makes it more funnier because, you know, I took a day off to win a pen, you know, and like, I don't want any more pens. I started walking at 1 minute to 11, and then I arrived at Kingfisher at 11:44, and we left at 3:17. So that was episode 28 of Storytime. That was me telling you about what the youth group did over the summer. My amazing summer. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like this video, then share, leave a comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. And if anyone out there thinks my videos are crap, let me know why in the comments and hopefully I'll improve. And if you're new to this channel or you just found it, feel free to subscribe if you want. I'm Marty. Bye. I will see you very soon. I'm out. Random photos and one video after the credits. Cast: Martial as I'm Martial. Thumbnail by Martial. Special thanks to Martial and you for watching. Produced by Martial and directed by Martial.